welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. Today we're going to recap yesterday's college basketball, NBA, NHL, look ahead to today's games in each sports, and for soccer, then we'll do some reality TV. It's Masked Singer and Survivor, news and notes, and best bet. So short show today. First we'll do college basketball. We will go over the results from yesterday, and then today's window is not as big as it usually is on a Wednesday. So, Southern over Champion Christian 109-60, USL over LIU 78-65, Seton Hall over Monmouth 70-61, number 12 Tennessee over Georgia Southern 74-56, number 21 Duke over Hofstra 89-68, Cincinnati over Bryant 85-53, La Tech over Southeast Louisiana 89-60, Campbell over Pfeiffer 88-59, Tennessee Tech over Bethel, Tennessee 81-74, Troy over Southern New Orleans 110-63, Western Kentucky over Wright State 91-84, NC State over Tennessee Martin 81-67, St. Peter's over UMBC 66-60, NC Central over NCAT 67-62, George Washington over Bowie State 88-73, Maryland over Alcorn State 105-65, South Florida over Arkansas Pine Bluff 104-86, Bradford over VMI 73-56, Sam Houston over Yale Monroe 63-62, Charlton State over Sterling 85-47, Northern Iowa over Prairie View 74-55, Austin P over Southern Illinois 70-68, North Dakota over Waldorf 87-36, Minnesota over IPY 101-65, Lindenwood over Avila 81-64, UMKC over Tabor 80-57, Green Bay over UIC 78-68, Georgetown over Coppin State 71-54, Boise State over Northwestern State 95-54, Texas Tech over Oral Roberts 82-76, Mexico State over Northern New Mexico 76-71, and Oregon over Cal Baptist 76-55. All right, today's games at noon. We have Mid-Atlantic Presbyterian. We could skip. 12:15, we have Incarnate Word Rice. My line is Rice by 15 3/4. And we have here Rice giving 13.5 totals, 158.5. I'm going to lay the points at Rice. 1 o'clock, Region Howard, we can skip. 4 o'clock, Bryn Athyn, Princeton, we can skip. 6:30, Norfolk State and Stony Brook. My line is Stony Brook by 1 3/4. It's 2.5 and 138.5. I'll take the over. 7 o'clock, you have FIU at number 15, FAU. My line's FAU by 22.5, and it's 23.5 and 153.5. That's an interesting total. Over, but I don't feel strong about that pick. That won't be best bet. BU Dartmouth. My line is BU by 3/4, and it's Dartmouth 1.5, total 103.5. Over. North Alabama, Charleston Southern. My line is North Alabama by 2.5, and it is 5.5 and 143.5. I'll take Charleston Southern to cover. App State Queens. My line is App State by 8, and it's 6.5 and 149.5. I'll take the over. Marshall Toledo. My line is Toledo 5.5, and it's 7.5 and 162.5. I'll take Marshall plus the points. 7:30, Murray State and Mississippi State. My line is Miss State by 19, and it's 16.5 and 136.5. I'll lay the points in Miss State. UTSA Little Rock. My line is I'll pick 'em, and it is Little Rock 6.5, total 162.5. I'll take UTSA plus the points, the cover. 8 o'clock, Big Ten, Chicago State, number 25, Northwestern. My Northwestern by 32. And it is 24.5 and 134.5. I'll lay the points of Northwestern. Longwood, Milwaukee. My line is Longwood by 0.5. I know Longwood is 10 and 1, which is insane. I'm fascinated to see this line. It's only 3.5 totals, 147. I'll take it. This feels like a rat line. So I'm going to take Milwaukee plus the points. UAB, Alabama A&M. Mine's UAB by 19.25. And it is 12.5 and 152.5. I'll lay the points. Arkansas State, Louisville in the ACC Network lines Louisville by 9. It's 3.5, 147.5. I'll lay it with Louisville. Alabama State and LSU. My line is LSU by 10 3/4. And it's 20.5 and 145.5. I'll take the points with Alabama State. Tennessee State, Liberty. My line is Liberty 3 3/4. And Liberty's laying a whopping 14.5. Totals 137.5. I'll take Tennessee State plus the points. UNC Asheville, Auburn. This is actually a neutral site game, it looks like, at the Von Braun Center. So, we have to change the line projection. I had Auburn 12, and it's actually now 9. So, Auburn by 9, and it's a whopping 19.5, which is crazy. Considering Auburn's not home, technically. 18.5, total 149.5. I'll still take Asheville to cover the spread. Southern Miss McNeese. My line is McNeese by 8.25. And it is 5.5 and 139.5. I'm going to lay it at 5.5 with McNeese. Eastern Kentucky and Louisiana at 8:30. My line is Eastern Kentucky by 1 3/4. And it's Louisiana 2.5 total 149.5. I'll take Eastern plus the points and plus 116 to win. 9 o'clock CBS Sports Network. The Jack Jones Classic, number 8 Creighton, UNLV. The Dollar Loan Center, is that UNLV's home? No, it is not. But it's still in Vegas. Since the two are so close, I really didn't have to change the line. So it's still Creighton 14.5 is my projection here. It's 12.5 and 152.5. I'll lay it with Creighton. Next is Denver at number 18 BYU. My line is BYU by 15 3/4. It's 26.5 and 157.5. I'll take Denver in the points. Portland, Bible, Eastern Washington. We skip 3 more with Seattle, San Francisco at 10. My line is San Fran by 10 1/4. And it's 9.5 and 135.5. What about the over? Weber State, Nevada. My line is Nevada by 3, and it's 9.5 and 135.5. I'll take Weber in the points. And last but not least, Utah State, Santa Clara. My line is Santa Clara by 7 3/4. And it's Utah State favored 1.5, total 152.5. I'll take Santa Clara plus the points and plus 104 outright. Okay, now move on to the NBA. We will recap yesterday's short window and look ahead to a decent sized amount of games for tonight. So we have 9 games today, which makes sense. I made it 5 yesterday. Celtics over the Cavs 120 to 113. Mavs over the Lakers 127 to 125. Nuggets over the Bulls 114 106. Suns over the Warriors 119 116. And the Clippers over the Kings 119 99. All right, today's game, 7 o'clock, you have the Sixers at the Pistons. My line's Philly by 14 3/4, total 231 and 11/20. And it's 12 and 233.5. That's a tough one, but I'm going to lay the 12 of Philly. Pelicans Wizards. My line's Pelicans by 8.25, total 237.25. And it's 7.5 and 241.5 under. 7:30 Hornets Heat. My line is Heat 7.25, total 229 and 7/20, and it's 8 and 223.5. Despite the injuries, give me the over. Hawks Raptors. My line is Raptors 1.25, total 235 and 7/20, and it is 1.5 and 240.5. Whoa, that's high. Under. 8 o'clock Grizzlies Rockets. Mine's Rockets by 5, total 217, and it's 6 and 212.5 over. Pacers Bucks. Mine's Bucks 7.5, total 247 and a 20th, and it is 6.5 and 258.5. Whew. Under. That is the highest total I've ever seen in an NBA game. Under. 8 o'clock on NBA TV. Lakers Spurs. My line is the Lakers 11.25, so 228 and 3/5, and it's 2 and 230. So it's that low because they think one of them is sitting. But I'm going to lay the 2. I'm meaning LeBron and AD. 9 o'clock Nets Suns. My line is Phoenix by 10, so 229 and 7/10. But if Durant doesn't play, it's 4.5. And we have 2.5 and 227. So the line is suggesting that Durant's not playing. So I'm going to still lay the points, because they have the best player on the court in the game in Devin Booker. And last but not least, Knicks Jazz. My line is the Knicks by 7.5, total 227 in the 5th, and it's 6 and 228.5. This is the closest projection so far. Slight lean to the Knicks minus the 6, although I'm not betting that at all. All right, the NHL. We'll recap yesterday's games and look ahead to a smaller window for tonight. Leafs over the Rangers 7-3. Canes over the Sens 4-1. Pens over the Coyotes 4-2. Red Wings over Blues 6-4. Preds over the Flyers 3-2 OT. Canucks over the Lightning 4-1, so best bet lost. Golden Knights over the Flames 5-4 in OT. Kraken over the Panthers 4-0. Oilers over the Blackhawks 4-1. Sharks over the Jets 2-1. Oh, wow, so the Sharks won outright. All right, 7 o'clock, you have the Penguins at the Habs. Pens minus 154, Habs plus 128, over under 6.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Pens minus 1.5 is plus 158, Habs plus 1.5 is minus 92. So, for this one, I like the over. On TNT tonight, Bruins Devils. Wow, the New Jersey's favored over Boston. That's crazy. Minus 130. Boston plus 108, over under 6.5. Overs plus 104, unders minus 128. Bruins plus 1.5 is minus 225. Devils minus 1.5 is plus 188. I'm going to go over here too. Ducks Islanders. Isles minus 10. Ducks plus 172, over under 5.5. Overs minus 140. Unders plus 114. Ducks plus 1.5 is minus 140. Isles minus 1.5 is plus 116. I like the under. 10 o'clock on TNT. Sabres Abs. Abs minus 20. Sabres plus 180. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Sabres plus 1.5 is minus 134. Abs minus 1.5 is plus 112. I'm going to go with the over here. And last but not least, Jets Kings at 10:30. Kings minus 188. Jets plus 155. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Jets plus 1.5 is minus 160. Kings minus 1.5 is plus 132. I'm going to take the Jets outright at plus 155. I know I have to throw an underdog outright winner in there somewhere. I mean, the Bruins are likely in terms of a dog to win outright, but I like the Jets plus 155. Okay, now move on to soccer. We will go over notable results and look at everything going on today. We'll begin with Champions League. PSV Arsenal 1-1 draw. Lens over Sevilla 2-1. Inter Milan Real Sociedad 0-0 draw. Real Madrid over Union Berlin 3-2. Benfica over FC Salzburg 3-1. Bayern over Man United 1-0. Napoli over Braga 2-0. And Copenhagen over Galatasaray 1-0. All right, the rest of the Champions League today. All right, 12:45, you have RP Leipzig And Young Boys, this is Group G. RP Leipzig's minus 450. Young Boys is 10-1. The draw's plus 550. I'm going to go under 3.5 goals, minus 110. Also, Group G, Red Star, Man City. Man City minus 230. Red Star 6-1. The draw's plus 370. Man City should win going away. So, for this one, I'm going to go under 2.5 goals, plus 128. Even though I said they should win going away, meaning 2-0. 3 o'clock, you have Atletico and Lazio. This is Group E. Atletico minus 10, Lazio 6-1. The draw's plus 330. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals, minus 108. Antwerp and Barcelona. Group H. Barcelona minus 180. Antwerp plus 470. The draw's plus 330. So, I'm going to go minus 1.5 Barcelona two-way spread away team minus 1.5 plus 168. Dortmund and PSG. This is Group F, the best two teams in Group F. Dortmund plus 270, PSG's minus 115, the draw's 3-1. PSG's playing better, I'm taking a minus 115. Celtic and Feyenoord. This is Group E, the two worst teams in Group E. Feyenoord plus 110, Celtic plus 230, draw plus 270. I'm going Feyenoord plus 110. FC Porto and Shakhtar. This is Group H. Porto minus 10, Shakhtar plus 600, draws plus 330. For this one, I'm going to go over 2.5 goals, minus 112. And last but not least, in Champions League, Newcastle Milan. This is Group F. Newcastle minus 115, Milan's plus 280. The draw's 3-1. I'm going Newcastle minus 115. All right, now we'll do ELC from yesterday and look ahead to today's ELC games. Blackburn over Bristol City 2-1. Preston over Huddersfield 3-1. West Brom over Rotherham 2-0. Stoke Swansea 1-1 draw. Ipswich over Watford 2-1. And Sunderland over Leeds 1-0. All right, today 2:45 you have Cardiff and Birmingham. Birmingham's in 17th and Cardiff's in 9th. So a pretty big gap between those two teams, you would say. Cardiff minus 120, Birmingham plus 310, the draws plus 240. Going over 2.5 goals plus 112. Coventry, Southampton. Coventry's 15th. And Southampton is in 4th. Coventry's plus 140. Southampton plus 180. Draw plus 240. Wow. I'm going Southampton plus 180. That's crazy. Leicester, Millwall. Leicester minus 260. Millwall plus 700. The draws plus 350. I'm going under 2.5 goals plus 102. QPR and Plymouth. QPR even money. Plymouth plus 260. Draw plus 250. I'm going QPR at even money. And last but not least, 3 o'clock, Borough Hull. Borough minus 125, Hull 300, draws 270. I'm going under 2.5 goals at even money here as well. In UEFA Women's, today, 12:45, St. Pölten and Slavia Prague. Rosengard and Barcelona, 3 o'clock Lion and SK Brand, and Benfica and Eintracht for women's today. All right, now move on to the Masked Singer. Group C goes tonight. The drill, double elimination, and the winner goes to the finals next week. Which sucks is that finale and Survivor can be going head to head. So, Group C. We saw them in episodes 7 and 8. So we have left here Donut, Candelabra, and Anteater. So, Anteater performed Walking in Memphis by Mark Cohn in the first time around, and I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys second time around. My guess for Anteater is none other John Cougar Mellencamp. It's a big name. A lot of clues hint him like a farm, so a little bit of his background there. And then race cars was a big hint as well. Candelabra, she performed One Thing by Emery and All My Life by Casey and JoJo. My guess for Candelabra right now, I'm stuck between Leona Lewis and Kelly Rowland. I feel like Kelly Rowland's somebody that we've been begging to get on the Masked Singer, and it just hasn't happened. It wasn't Keisha Cole on the Masked Singer already, because Nicole guessed her for Candelabra. But I'm going to go Kelly Rowland for now. And then Donut, the first time around, performed Hooked on a Feeling by Blue Suede. And the second time around, I Do by 98 Degrees. My guess for Donut is country star Hank Williams Jr., who we need a country singer on the show. He's 74 years old. He's a fun person to listen to, and there's a lot of country clues. He spans several generations, like the special clue alluded to in the last time we saw Donut. So I'm going to go Hank Williams Jr. So my pick to win this group is Candelabra. She's the best one. So I'm going to say Candelabra wins and knocks out Anteater in what will be a good battle royale, and then Donut will be the first unmasked tonight. So the finale is going to be Candelabra, Sea Queen, Cow, and then Gazelle, which is going to be a lot of fun. All right, now we'll move on to Survivor. We pretty much recapped last week's episode on the show the other day. But we'll just talk about what I think is going to happen tonight. Obviously, we are down to 6. We have Julie, we have Dee, we have Katura, we have Jake, we have Drew, and we have Austin. That's your final 6. I think that anybody could win, maybe other than Jake. Unless if Jake wins out immunity or whatever. But Jake, I think, can make the final 3. I can't believe we're at 6 already. This season has gone so fast. I'm going to recap my predictions for tonight. I think Katura wins immunity. I think she's due to come through. And I think she wins. She's gained the respect and the trust of her tribe mates. She hasn't caused any problems. Maybe other than with Bruce. But everybody wanted Bruce out anyway. But, like I said, Katura has the respect of everybody. Her life story is emotional. But I think that Survivor really has changed her. And I think this is an experience that she needed. And I think she deserves to win. And my pick to go home in this episode is going to be Julie. Unless she wins immunity. Then if she wins immunity, it's going to be Jake. I'd be surprised if it's not Julie or Jake, but I won't be shocked if it's Dee or Austin. I'd be stunned if it was Katura. But part of me wouldn't be shocked if it was Drew either. I think the only person I'd be shocked if they got voted off tonight would be Katura. I won't be shocked Drew, Austin, Dee. And then I won't be surprised Julie and Jake. So we'll see how this plays out. I'm going to say Julie goes home. Katura wins immunity. And they try to tell Julie that Jake's going home. And her and Dee vote for Jake. And maybe Austin votes out Jake too. And then Austin flips to Julie. And then that causes some drama back at camp at the start of the finale between the lovebirds. So there's going to be trouble in paradise between Dee and Austin come next week after what I predict is going to be a split vote coming down to a revote and Austin flipping his vote from Jake to Julie. All right, now move on to the news and notes for today. Where are we going to start? Let's start in baseball. The Yamamoto sweepstakes, the Dodgers spoke to him, but they are in trade talks with the Rays about Tyler Glasnow and Manuel Margot for Ryan Papuai and Johnny DeLuca. If they get Glasnow, to me, that takes them out of the Yamamoto sweepstakes. That means they know they're not getting him. So, that is good news for every other team that's in the Yamamoto sweepstakes. That's for me. And in Glasnow, I don't know if I even would like the Glasnow fit on the Dodgers. He's never healthy. And Margot's a good fourth outfielder. And then Papuai would be a good prospect add for the Rays. So, I would like this deal better for Tampa a little bit than the Dodgers. So, we'll see. And Blake Snell's linked to the Mets if they could pivot to Snell if they don't land Yamamoto. Like, that's a good option. That is a really good consolation prize because you just won the Cy Young Award. The San Francisco Giants matched the Dodgers' Shohei offer as they were agreeable to the exact deal he signed, but Ohtani wanted, obviously, Los Angeles and stay home, except go to the Dodgers. But the San Francisco Giants do sign Korean outfielder Jung-Hoo Lee to a 6-year, $113 million deal. That is a lot of money for Lee. I think that's an overpay. I think they were desperate to get somebody. But we'll see how that works out. The Pirates signed Rowdy Tellez 1 year, $3 million. That's a nice little signing for them. Seth Lugo gets a 3-year, $45 million deal from the Royals. I don't hate that deal for KC. They needed stability in their pitching staff. And Lugo had a good year on San Diego last year. And going in a big ballpark like Kansas City could do him wonders. Shota Imanaga linked to 4 teams: Dodgers, Mets, Red Sox, Cubs. And he's expected to get $20 million a year. That'd be crazy. Mets infielder Ronnie Mauricio tears his ACL, requires surgery. That sucks for the Mets. And now they have more questions on what their infield's going to look like next year with him gone. Because I think they had big plans for that kid, Mauricio. All right, some football. Joe Alt declares for the draft. He's the former Notre Dame star, number 2 offensive tackle, according to Bleacher Report. To me, he's my number 1 offensive tackle. Look who they have ahead of Joe Alt. Colorado announces new elective called Primetime Public Performance and Leadership. Oh my God. That's hysterical. Mike Vrabel said that he had a plan, or has a plan, to convince Will Levis to slide when running. That's funny. More college. Wisconsin lands Miami transfer quarterback Tyler Van Dyke. So that's a good ad for Wisconsin. Florida State is hosting DJ Ugalele. Oklahoma lands former Purdue receiver Deion Burks. That's a big ad for the Sooners. Now they have to find a quarterback because Gabriel's gone. And then Georgia commit and top quarterback prospect Dylan Raiola is to visit Nebraska. So we'll see if Matt Rule can land him. Some NFL stuff. Justin Herbert out for the year with the broken index finger. That's not good for the Chargers. Now they're a tank team. But Brandon Staley, I think, will still get fired. If Justin Herbert was out the entire year with another injury, maybe he would have kept his job, because sometimes players getting injured, specifically quarterbacks getting injured, could save a coach's job. You're seeing it with the Jets at Robert Saleh this year. So I'm going to say that Staley still gets fired. But that's just unfortunate for Herbert. Jedrick Wills Jr. out for the season as he had arthroscopic surgery yesterday morning. That's not good for the Browns and Joe Flacco. Tyreek Hill, ankle injury day-to-day, but Dolphins center Connor Williams out for the season with a torn ACL. That is brutal for the Miami Dolphins. Connor Williams is a big part of that offensive line, and that was one of the better pickups that any team has had over the past several years. Rick Pitino invites Giants quarterback Tommy DeVito to MSG courtside for a St. John's game. That's funny. Love to see that. So Man United's out of Champions League as they finish last in the group and get eliminated. We talked about that earlier. The Yankees had a Zoom call to introduce Juan Soto. I don't know why it was a Zoom call, which I don't agree with. It should have been an in-person thing. And he's sticking with number 22. And Juan Soto is open to a Yankees extension, so that is good news. The big story in the NBA last night is that Draymond in trouble again as he was given a flagrant 2 for excessive contact to the face on Yusuf Nurkic. And then Draymond apologizes to Nurkic and says the intent was not to hit him. And then Steve Kerr goes, no comment. So Suns' big three could debut soon. Could be tonight against the Nets or Friday against the Knicks. As Kevin Durant is expected to play tonight against the Nets. All right, so I didn't see that because I heard he wasn't playing in that game, as he missed that Warriors game. So UNC had a reaction to MLS team Charlotte FC's hiring of a coach named Dean Smith, which I didn't even think of that yesterday when I talked about it on News and Notes. That's really funny. I didn't even think of that. How Carolina would come out with the reaction. Memphis lands K-State transfer Naquan Tomlin, eligible to play next semester after averaging over 10 points a game and almost 6 rebounds a game, so that's a big get for Penny Hardaway. And the big news from late night last night is that the Blues fire Craig Berube amid 13-14-1 start. Drew Bannister named intern coach. That was random that this broke right after the game. Craig Berube got fired right after they lost to the Red Wings on national TV. He's the Blues are probably see ya, you gotta go. Right after the game, which is unfortunate for Berube. The Blues just really haven't been relevant since their cup run, and Berube obviously was the coach for that team, and gets fired 4 years later. There's literally no loyalty in sports anymore. Barry Trotz got fired after winning a Stanley Cup. That's all you need to know. Washington was just okay, we're done with you. I know we won, but we don't want you anymore. And then the Islanders hired him, and then back-to-back conference finals and then they missed the playoffs. Bam, he's out. So Barry Trotz got screwed over twice. And then we saw it with Mike Budenholzer. Bucks win the title, and then 2 years later, fired. So there's literally no loyalty in sports anymore when it comes to coaches. So we'll see who the Blues hire long-term. So it's the second coach firing of the year. Obviously, the Oilers fired Jay Woodcroft earlier in the year, replaced him with Chris Knobloch, and that's gone well. And then, Banster gets promoted. We'll see how he does. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. So I'm eyeing soccer today for best, and I'm eyeing Champions League. I'm going to lay a quarter unit on a team that I think is too short of a favorite. Minus 115. Oh, there's two of them. It's PSG and it's Milan. And the one. Newcastle's the other one. It was between those two. And then Feyenoord's the other one against Celtic. So my mistake, plus 115. I'm going to go with Feyenoord against the Celtic. Celtics just hasn't been good in Champions League. And Feyenoord, I know Celtics home. The crowd's going to be good. And they'll be playing for pride at this point. But Feyenoord is too short of a favorite. So I'm going to take Feyenoord plus 115 against Celtic for my best bet of the day. All right, so that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. I'll get to everything tomorrow as well. And hope you guys have a great day, everyone.